Podcast, you can't win. I touch black and whites just by stroking my chin. Tell Marva got a plan if he just sit in. And we can be the sons and thus fit in. Talking a good game, topics never lame. Conversations just the same right before they left the brain. Seriously funny, but if you take it seriously, you end up smiling. If not, laugh hilariously. And every Tuesdays we're on the one, so stay in tune before noon. It's the Podical Sons.
It's ridiculously funny.
Welcome back to the best no judgment zone space in the world, because neither one of us had law degrees. I am Saint Marvelous.
And I'm not going to cut my hair, Mr. Not Your Average Joseph.
We are the Podical Sons.
No, this is clean cut Marv over here. And this is, you know what I mean, this is the pick you throw, Not Your Average Joseph over here.
Notice the people who are booed up from the notice the single folk trying to get booed up. Trying to? Already got to. All right.
But listen, at least we button up. We button up today. I mean, I'm not fully buttoned up, but we we're
just felt like something, man. You know, Christian, you know,
doing a classy today.
Sorry, got the white pants on. Let them know I'm a period.
And plus, it's mad hot outside.
What the fuck, yo?
30, like.
I was trying to, because I like to drive.
Weeks.
I like to drive with the windows down and stuff when I'm solo.
Yeah.
Because if I got my little man or I got people in the car, I throw in the AC and stuff for them. But I like to let the wind blow through.
Me too. Yeah.
But I'm looking like shit. Because I think I did a little move or shift in the car.
Yeah.
And then the seatbelt kind of moved. I'm like, am I sweating on my chest? I was like, and the seatbelt area, so it's like, and then like a little across the stomach area. I was like, fuck, it's hot.
It's crazy.
It's hot,
man. And they say at some point it's supposed to feel like in the 40s.
40s, yeah, it's spicy.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Nah, man. Happy Canada Day to all those. Happy 4th that just passed.
Yes.
4th, I didn't say Independence Day. I heard a lot of black people and stuff are not celebrating Independence Day.
No, well, apparently Juneteenth is what we're celebrating as Independence Day.
And happy Canada Day to those American motherfuckers that said they were going to cross the border ever since Donald Trump was going to vote. You remember those people?
What?
You remember that?
What happened to that
Exactly.
Exodus? What happened to that Exodus?
I'm about to say, you remember that? That was a big...
Shit.
I'm going to Canada. Donald Trump is I'm going to Canada. I don't like what he's doing. I'm going to Canada. Happy Canada Day to you fuckers.
It's funny because I've heard the recalling of that speech if he runs another term.
Yeah, man.
So the Exodus is apparently started back up again. It's apparently started back up again.
Suck ass people. Look here, man. Shut your pie hole.
Exodus movement of Trump's people.
Facts. Not Trump's people. The other people. Right. The other people. Let's get to the cheating question real quick. So like within a week, we posted, if you cheat on your partner, should you tell
your significant other, your boo, your what was it like? What was it like?
72% said, hell no, ain't saying shit.
72%.
Hell no. And you're the one saying like you want to come clean off your conscience, whatever. Yeah. You come clean when you drink a lot of water. And you put artwork on her back or her titties. That's when you come clean. Until then, you shut hell no. That,
rock with a 70-something%.
You take that shit to your grave, man.
Wow.
You take that shit to your grave. Because, all right. Wow. And like when I was trying to see like the collective and stuff for them, I'm like, yo, where are they coming from with this and like how they agree?
Right.
I was like, yo, you know what? I semi-see it and stuff like that. And like, I'm not disagreeing with you. Morally and ethically, you're absolutely right. But I just feel
I don't think most is disagreeing with the morally and ethically part. I think a lot of people understand that part. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that it's almost like that. Why risk it all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like why risk it all?
And see, I feel like if you tell, right, you don't know the effect it might have on that person. So you just trying to quote unquote come clean or clean off your conscience and everything so you can sleep at night. For that might throw them into I don't want to put it in a dark place, but a suicidal type of thought.
Yeah, you know what? What I'm
saying? It's selfish.
It's important that you assess the situation because you got to know who you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
But
you don't know what kind of effect this thing might have.
Hopefully, at that point, you kind of know your partner and know their triggers, knows what this, that, and the third, and if it's a person that would expect you to come clean, and you've had this conversation, like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can have this conversation, what is and whatever, you know what I mean, and kind of engage that situation. And if, you know, if it so happens to happen, then you know that, okay, you know what, I can tell her, but we've already discussed this, and I'm confident that, you know what I mean, me telling her, or, you know, her telling him that, you know what, this is what happened. It was a mistake.
Because you spoke about it already. It's
because
the theory.
you know what I mean? It's
you produced the theory already.
Right.
So like the theory's there, so now the practical, the situation actually happened.
Exactly. So you're almost 80% sure what the outcome is going to be.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty much.
But then again, like I said, it's like the people are thinking like, why risk it? Like, I have no clue how this person is going to respond.
Facts.
Right? Yeah.
But like, even like how you were saying stuff about the whole why risk it thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even crucifying those peoples and stuff, whatever, thinking like that and stuff, whatever. Like, I see both sides. I just know how I would react and stuff, whatever. Like, if in theory we had a convo and stuff, whatever, because that's my thing and stuff, whatever. I always I'm the question guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm like, yo, hey babe, what if I cheat on you with Alicia Keys when Swiss Beats gave her a hall pass and everything like that, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And you gauge, like you said, and try to get an idea of what she was like, what, that bitch or that heifer? And then she's like, no, she started talking out her neck, you know, her hands moving like this. I wish a nigga would, like a kitchen cabinet. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, yeah, you better keep your dick in your pants. In any case.
I'm just trying to figure out why are you going to Alicia Keys when Will is out there giving out the hall passes?
Nah, I ain't fucking with that shit. Yeah. You see, August look fucking broken, dog. He look broken.
You look broken?
Yo, that's what I'm saying.
Like
you need to watch Insecure.
Like you should have shut the hell up?
Yo, you need to see Insecure, man.
Is he on the show?
No, but there's a song in the beginning of the thing. I'm not even ruining it for you because they're like 5 seasons deep. Yeah. But they have a song called Broken Pussy. And with the Broken Pussy song, whatever, I feel like, yo, sometimes pussy can leave you broken. And that's what I think. I was like, when I see him, I'm like, damn, he looked devastated. He's like, I gave my all to this person. To them. I'm like, I hear the song, ding, 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 Broken Pussy.
All right, let me since we're here, let me just try and figure this out.
Fire away.
All right. We put ourselves in August Alsina's shoes.
Hold on, right? Hold that thought. Yeah. I want to apologize to August because when we spoke about him and moving on Jada with that post, remember for her birthday?
Right.
I felt like I was out of pocket. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong, not knowing that this is an open fucking marriage and they allowed this shit. So once again, August, I apologize if you ever hear this episode. Continue.
Okay. So we've established that, right?
Right.
We established that. We know that it's an open marriage. I'm assuming at the time that August also knows that this is an open marriage, right? Okay. Knowing this, and you're that boy toy that gets to play the role, and you gonna try and keep your emotions in check, man? What? When you gonna go play the act about giving your all? You're supposed to know what the deal is.
You're supposed to be the PC one. You know this shit. You have,
man.
But you have 10 years of experience over me. You know how many chicks you probably done said, like, yo, this is what it is. We're gonna stick to the script. It ain't gonna get nothing more wilder than this. And then they come at you with a change of heart. They're gonna come at you with a new program. The same thing happened for the women, the same thing happened to men, and the trans and everybody else and stuff like that. Like, they have a change of heart. And that's it. She gave him the contract rules. Be like, look, cause I remember they had that red table talk where Will was on there.
Right.
And she said and stuff. She's like, yo, you be over there with your joker, and I'm over here with my joker, but this marriage is not ending.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, he's probably on his side, like on the compound with Jada or Jada's side. Yeah. Just silking it like he can get cooch whenever he want. But this lady already put it out there in the ethos, like, yo, bro. You're just gonna get this free buzzy. You're gonna get this emotional hugs, and you're gonna get these tour, like, you know, out and about type of looks thing. It ain't gonna go any deeper than that. But he's like, yeah, you're right. But she probably put it on him and stuff. He's like, well, what if though?
She just put it on. She put it on. What if he?
He's just saying, what if?
What if you leave? What if you leave Will?
But yeah, the what ifs always tend to come up and stuff when you put like a lot of thought in some things, whatever, right? So he's probably just had some time and stuff on because he was in it for a bit.
Yeah,
and he just said, what if? So. You mean? Yeah, man.
I don't know. I think I'd have to just continue to play my role.
So I would.
I'd have to continue to play my role.
I would.
I'd have shut the hell up. Ain't nobody know the wiser. I would have carried that one to the grave.
I'm like, so what would you take? Pussy or paper? You take pussy or the money?
Well, I mean,
Your boy toy.
I mean, I'm almost established with the music and stuff like that.
But he said this shit kind of fucked him up. His kind of club. Did you see the interview with him and Yee?
I don't watch that.
With him and Yee and stuff, he said that this thing, like when he kind of separated from the Smiths,
right?
He said his money stream started cutting up and everything like that. Like it kind of shut down shop over here to and fro. Like he couldn't get some type of things. I don't know if it's like the Scientology clicks or like, you know, because it's kind of like if these people put you on the blacklist, everybody else will put you on the blacklist. Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
Scientology is rapid like that in Hollywood, though. That I mean, you could just get shut down for both acting and singing. Yeah, they
run things.
It's got that foothold over there.
They run things.
But Will said he ain't part of the Scientology.
Will say a lot of things. Will got a massage from a man and stuff for them. Say a man knows how a man feels. Will said that.
Yeah.
No further questions. No.
Right.
No
right.
man can tell me how I want to be.
You're right.
Please, I'm sorry. Yo,
shudders. Just the thought of it makes me shudder.
Yeah, I went for a couples massage.
Right.
Years ago, we went and everything and stuff, whatever. So I'm there. First of all, we're the only black couple and stuff in this bitch, right? And we're the youngest ones there too. So I think there's like maybe like 5 couples, including us. So they came up and stuff and they said, the Harveys, right? So I'm like, what up? So the woman walks up to her. The man walks up to me. So I'm like, what's going on here? He's like, I'll be doing your massage. I'm like, no, that's not possible. I need a woman. So he's like, I'm quite capable and stuff with her. I'm like, no disrespect to you, my man. I don't feel comfortable, my face down, ass up, and a man making me make sounds like, like, pause button all the way. So I'm like, you got to give me a woman. So it was a guy across the way and stuff with an older white dude, whatever. He's like, hey, the kid's right. I don't want a guy to massage me anymore. I was like, anymore? Why'd you let it happen the first time? So then she comes and she said, you always know how to make a scene. Why you just can't be regular and shut the fuck up sometimes? I was like, no.
I'd have to protest that one.
Yeah, I protested. And then they gave me like a little older little MILF, whatever, and everything. Yeah, like, you know, like a Swevlana, whatever. Yeah.
And you was all right at that point.
I was okay.
You was all right at that
because, see, and the thing and stuff about me is that my language of love is physical touch. So while she's giving me the massage and touch and shit like that, whatever, she's like, all right, you're done. And I was like, all right, you got to give me like 5 minutes. And then, like, you know, it's like those little Asian little folding things separating like the couples and everything. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're so disgusting and stuff. And I'm like, I can't help it that if a woman with soft, oily hands rubs my body, my dick's not going to get hard. Ooh, come on. You got to be not into women for that to happen.
Especially, I mean, the MILF like Savant.
Bless your heart. Thank you. Thank you. Other question of the week. Does opposites really attract? Do you feel opposites really attract?
I think they can, but I also think that like minds attract.
I think that too. You know what? When I thought of the question,
I
thought of you. Because you said, I want to say, when you explain the thing about culture, like, you know, with the Asian chick in your past and your friend, and they just in the culture, they're not from the race or from the elk.
The elk.
The elk. That word fucking kills me. But you're not part of that and everything, and you feel the connection. Yeah, it can happen. I just feel like, this is just my opinion. Like most people and stuff, whatever, in Canada or Toronto, the GTA that I run into, they're kind of more on a national kind of level, nationality type of thing. Yeah, where they kind of run with their own majority of the time, and I feel like they don't want to cross over. I don't know why. That's just me. Right. And I feel like it's not that far off. If you love me and I love you and we respect each other and stuff like whatever, it shouldn't be an issue. Nah, it shouldn't be no issue. Because I remember when I posted a question and stuff for that, would you prefer to marry somebody within your own race? And that was a 50-50 split. You remember that? Yes. Because you even saved that one on the gram, I think, whatever, right? And it was a 50-50 split. So this question was not too far off from that, whatever, because if you're white and I'm black and there's just certain things and stuff in your room and stuff that I dig, or we share like a similar culture and taste for music, taste for food and everything like that, whatever, I guess people would say opposites attract. But I feel like we're still one and the same.
But then I would think though, it like that sort of stuff I would look at as not even opposite though. I would look as like minds. Because if we like the same food, like the same music, I mean, we like the same things, right? Mm-hmm. So that to me would be like a like mind.
Mm-hmm.
Where I see opposites attracting is when you're around so many people who has such a like mind to you, is that you almost crave for something different.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It's almost like you're so used to this conversation, you're looking for something different. Like this is like
every day getting served chicken and stuff, whatever.
Exactly.
You're looking for one night a duck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this duck that you meet is totally opposite from, maybe let's pick something else from a duck, because duck is bird. That's
beef.
Beef. So this beef that you meet is totally the way different from this chicken that you're used to, right? So now all of a sudden you're like, wow, I never knew about this beef. And I don't particularly like beef, but this beef seems kind of interesting. You know what I mean? When I see like opposites attract.
You're right.
I see opposites attract.
So
that's how I met my lady. It got to the point where
sharing stories.
Listen, man, when I decided to meet my woman, I was looking for somebody totally different from what I was used to seeing in the party club scene. So I met my girl. She was walking down the street.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I met her. She was going somewhere with a book bag. Totally opposite of what I would where I would approach a woman. Right. But I just seen somebody that just struck me as different.
Yeah, but you were a young DJ though, so you were having like vagina getting thrown at you. You were having groupie love.
But this is what I'm saying.
Hey!
There's so much of the like over here that you just, you know what I mean? You get tired of it. You want something.
Have you fucked different. Fans before?
I'm pretty sure one of the
So how you crucify me?
Gone home with the
how you crucify me?
Listen, this is neither here or there. This is not the argument that we're having right now.
This guy.
It's not the argument we're having right now.
Yo, you will crucify me. Hey, don't be using the damn podcast to pick up some women and stuff, you slut. I'm like, what the fuck? You are something else.
Okay.
You are something else.
You can use the podcast part time.
All right, yay!
So make sure the podcast gets something out of it, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's all I ask.
Try my best. All right. Yeah. So when it came to that poll and stuff, whatever, a good portion of people said opposites, they do attract. I disagree to that level because, like I said, it has variables and stuff. Whatever. Yeah. You and I are both thinking variables and stuff, whatever. But if the majority cases stuff, whatever, if you're gonna choose a side, where would you stand? I probably stand on like minds more than opposite attracts. Cool. So that's more of a no then. Yeah. Me too. NBA's coming back, baby. Let's talk about that. Baller season. July 30th. A few weeks away. I was about to say, we about what? A few weeks away. 25 days out. How you feel about that, whatever? Because I know you were saying your piece and stuff, whatever, about like, how would you feel? How would you feel if the NBA and stuff, whatever, was to take some of the money that they earned? Yes, they granted, hear me out. Right. They're spending easy over $150 million for just that bubble in Orlando. Okay. Because Disney World itself is still going to be shut. Shut down. Okay. So Disneyland in Japan is open. Paris is open. Is going to be open, I think, soon. Or I think it should be open as of this weekend. Right. Disneyland just opened up, whatever, in LA. But Disney World is shut. Okay. For the NBA. And the NBA spent $150 million. Okay. To have that happen and stuff. So and so within the bubble, I'm assuming they got the official court that they play on, right? Mm-hmm. They're probably gonna have a couple practice courts that they're gonna set up for these guys to play, right? Mm-hmm.
the hotel for players, staff, trainer, coaches, and for that to stay in, right? Now, would you be opposed of them, let's say, having another hotel where if you chose to and you could pay the price, get tested, and be allowed to be part of that bubble for that whole experience?
So, okay, so what you're saying and stuff is that if it's not Hotel A, we're going into a Hotel B, or we want a Hotel B?
No. Hotel A is already spoken for. Right. That is for the
players,
the players and the foundation, possibly the TV crews, because you're still gonna have media coverage, right? So possibly the TV crews and so forth like that, right? Mm-hmm. But you're saying as Disney and the NBA, right? To make back maybe some of the money that you're spending, or some of the profits that you know what I mean, some of the profits that you might lose.
Oh, to the non-NBA people.
To the non-NBA people.
I wouldn't chance it.
You wouldn't chance it?
The reason.
Well, this is what I'm saying. And you know, right? Mm-hmm. Like they gotta pay a certain amount of money, and they gotta be tested. So just like how everybody else is being tested on that compound, right?
Right.
You're also tested. Once you get tested, you now are allowed to pass to stay at this specific hotel.
But you got to stay at this compound.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You got to stay there. You can't leave like anybody else can.
I don't think they want. I think if you had that money and stuff, whatever, and that know-how and all the above, whatever, even if they charge you like a more uptake type of fee, would you really want to stay there locked in and stuff?
Whatever? Well, how many weeks is it?
It's supposed to be from August to I think like to October, end of July to October-ish, whatever, September, October time.
End of July to October time. Oh yeah. That is a good while.
That's a long lock-in. Because basically, like, I guess whatever teams that don't make the playoffs and stuff, they can leave. Them and their corporation and stuff can leave that
right,
hub.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. But if you're exactly, but if you're just a wannabe spectator or just a non-NBA type of person and stuff like whatever, you got to sit there quiet regardless. What the fuck? And then if you leave, you leave.
What if you don't? What if you're not there for the entire duration? What if they're selling like week blocks? It's like a vacation, but you still got to go through the whole rigmarole to get in there. Once you're there for the week. You can't go anywhere up. Once your week is up, you can either rebook another week and stay further, extend your stay, or you got to leave and somebody else gets tested and comes in and takes that spot.
I wouldn't do it, but I see people. I know some people that probably would do it.
I personally wouldn't do it because I hate the damn test itself. That test, I can't look to spend any amount of money and watch anybody dribble up and down for that damn test. But I can see some people do. I can see some people doing it.
I see a few people doing it and stuff for that. It wouldn't be for me because my thing and stuff is that if I go for a game, I go for a game.
Right.
Whatever, right? Yeah. And if it's multiple games in that day, okay, sure, why the fuck not? But I'm like, if I'm going to be there for like a block, like a week or two, say I'm just here just to take in the whole NBA experience stuff, whatever, as like a privileged person.
Yeah.
And everything, stuff like that, nah, all right, I was just soaking it from TV so I can get back to my regular day-to-day shit. I don't know, because I look at things and stuff like that where, is it worth it? And then I get paid when I'm on vacation. Right?
Yeah.
I have that luxury. Some people don't have that luxury.
Right.
And everything and stuff. But I have other shit that I want to do when I take vacation days and stuff. Whatever.
Exactly.
So if I'm taking vacations to say I'm going to soak in for like if I'm going to like, I don't know, like pre-COVID, like, you know, out of the country, like a Dominican Republic or some shit like that, whatever.
Right.
I know I'm there to beat up everything I can there.
Yeah.
So I'll beat up everything I can for that NBA experience with it. But me, after like 7 days and stuff, sometimes I don't even like staying in places like 7 days. Like maybe like the 5th day, I'm ready to bounce.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bounce. I'm like, I did this, I did that, did this, did that. Fuck it. I remember I used to try and go home and stuff, whatever, for like a week purpose. And everybody else went back to work and I'm just there just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, I just take my ass back.
And that's what I'm saying. As a guest, even if you said to yourself, you going to chill out for the week, get that experience of the whole NBA. Apart from watching basketball games, what is it that you're gonna do? Yeah, I mean, you can't go to. I mean, there's nothing else is gonna be open.
No,
right? There's no staff is gonna be there to be like doing the amusements, the rides. I'm pretty sure only certain restaurants will be open, and that's where you eat from. If any are gonna be open, you're probably just only gonna eat from the hotel food. You know what I mean? So it'll be, you probably would be better off, you're right, watching it and experiencing it from home.
Because you can't say, "Ooh, I'm here in Orlando. There was this one restaurant that I ordered from. Oh, we got to get them from Skip the Dishes, or we got to get like Uber Eats to deliver." And the way they got to pass through like the red tape and everything, just to even like, I'm here for the cheeseburger deluxe for LeBron James. Come here, let us swab you real quick. Let us test this.
But hey, the privilege is different though. The privilege is different,
Absolutely.
man. They different,
Absolutely.
man. Especially if they get together and say, they start convincing their Hollywood friends to say, listen, maybe we can, throw some money and get, Disney open up the other part of the park, and you can shoot some stuff, get a little live concert happening. And they different.
Yeah.
They'll think of ways to lock down during this COVID time and enjoy some shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so they got this compound to themselves on Disney, right? Obviously they're still gonna have TV rights. That's happening. I mean, this probably wouldn't be even a thought if TV wasn't involved.
Facts.
Right? So we know that the TV is gonna be there and so forth like that. So one of the things that I suggested was, when they were debating about whether or not that they should go forth with the NBA season or just, put an X in it. First of all, what is your thoughts? Like, are you happy that they're gonna go and finish off the season, or would it have been to you made more sense to just cancel the whole season altogether?
Kill it.
Kill it altogether.
Kill it and pick up in October.
Kill it and pick up in October.
Kill it and pick it up in October. That's my type of thing, because during the COVID situation, during these trying times of
these
tough COVID times.
Tough COVID times.
But there's a lot of shit that popped off and stuff for that. And the NBA and stuff, whatever, is pretty much predominantly black.
Yeah, we'll get to that argument. But right before we get to that argument, right?
Yeah.
You say around October, right?
The normal time when the season starts.
Okay. But we've also discussed that we believe the second wave might happen around September. So would that be wise to even start back something in October if we're expecting a second wave coming?
Yeah, because I think by that time and stuff, if you have a even like, let's say, a prediction of what it can be and stuff and everything like whatever, then come the beginning, right after Labor Day and stuff, whatever, you start locking in these peoples and stuff, whatever, into this Disney resort thing and stuff, whatever, and just do it from there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't chance it with it being in the city and everything like that, because so many people can go in this place to and fro and stuff like that. So if you're gonna keep that hub going,
right,
and everything like that, whatever. Play the full teams.
Okay.
Get more hotels, get more things, stuff, whatever, because you have more time and stuff to kind of plan for that.
Yeah.
And all the above, because I'm still thinking, like, in the back of my mind, how's football, NFL gonna work? So, but in any case and stuff, whatever, just watch the whole NBA season and stuff, and just pick back up again in the October run. With the COVID planning, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Right.
So there's not much you can do to kind of dodge that and stuff, because we don't know.
So what you're saying is basically the Raptors becomes the 2019-2021 champions, because ain't nobody it would just obviously bleed over to this year, because
2021. You mean 2019 champion?
2019 because you would be 2019 to 2020, then 2020 to 21 would be the.
But is that how it works? I heard it's all rumors though, about like it's a quick write off to like the former champion and stuff, whatever.
So is it just an asterisk and nobody won that year?
Yeah, it's an asterisk. It's an asterisk, and I think what they will go with, whatever, is like the possible contenders.
You know what the funny thing is? This happened to Toronto already.
When?
The year with the Jays won. When the Jays won back to back, that second year, they were coming out of a lockout.
Okay.
And it was like it was a truncated season. You know what I mean?
But they came out on top.
But
same thing with the Heat.
Same thing with the Heat.
When the Heat won that time and stuff, whatever. It was a lockout, NBA lockout and stuff and everything and stuff. And then they came out and stuff on top. But that's what I'm saying. They had time to kind of recoup whatever was left.
Right.
And made the best of that.
Made the best of it.
This time and stuff, whatever, we're coming out of like stage 2 reopening things after the NBA season is done. come Father's Day, NBA season and stuff is officially done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we're after Father's Day and stuff, whatever, and now we're gonna start back up in July. So I'm not a fan.
And I mean, there was a possibility of starting earlier, but of course, the pushback was more than just COVID, right? I mean, now we're confronted with this whole racial issue.
Right.
That weighed heavily on a lot of players' minds because
they black. Majority of them black.
Majority of them black, and a lot of them felt like them going to play would take away from what's happening. With the takeaway from the movement, what's happening right now.
Kyrie Irving felt
right,
like that.
Kyrie felt like that, and some other players felt like that. The NBA, I would say was divided on the issue because you had some that wanted to get back and play. Some people have to feed their families. Some people feed the communities. You know what I mean? So there was there was this, that, and the third that was coming all into fruition. But the most important thing out of all of it is that TV paid up their money. So, you know what I mean? They want these revenues to happen.
Yeah.
So the one of the things that I was saying, well, if you want to appease everybody, that being those who are, fulfilling TV contracts, those who are wanting to play so they can support their families, support their communities, and those who are opposed to playing because it feels like it's gonna, take away from the movement. One of the things that I thought of, and we can discuss this now, is the fact that even with a truncated season like this, the NBA stands to make a good profit, right? Now, what would it take for, or would it be logical or practical even maybe, for the NBA to say, hey, listen, we hear your cry, we understand why you would not want to play basketball at this time. And we can honor and respect that. And we're doing a lot of things that's forward thinking as far as outreach to the community, trying to make it an all-inclusive. We get that 80% of, 80% or more of our foundation is Black. We should do something towards this fight as well. So what if we take 1/3 of our profits and put towards like a cause for the that encompasses the Black community.
So it became Marvelous Negro Foundation.
I got a couple foundations I can start up my damn self.
I got a few. Marvelous Marvin, Money Foundation. I had a few plugs I can,
Joseph loved the kids. That's the one I usually push. That's how I usually push.
You gotta watch how you say that too. You might catch a case.
I might catch a case. You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna say nay to that. The reason why and stuff, whatever, because I feel like after you and I spoke about it and stuff, and I looked into it, and I was like, they're looking at the money they have to pay people for things to make it happen. Like if you're a business and stuff, whatever, you just look at not look at it as on a moral level, but a business level. Right. If you look at it on a business level and stuff, whatever, your goal is to probably spend less money to make more money. Right. If you're spent let's say the NBA generates and stuff, whatever, let's say less than $1 billion per season, right? Right. A little bit less. Let's say 900 mil. And now you have a shorter season. And now you have to spend over 150 million just to create this bubble thing going on, whatever, right? Right. So you're not doing a full 82 plus playoffs and everything like that, whatever. You're doing now shorter, and you're spending at least maybe not want to say a third, but at least a good portion of stuff, whatever what you possibly would make. Okay. And you gotta pay players and camera crew and all that type of shit and stuff, whatever. Nah. I don't think they'll look at it and stuff like that. Morally, I get it. Yeah. But they still have the NBA cares.
But I mean, even with all that said, right? If they give away 1/3 of the profit, they're still 2/3 profitable. Even with all of that you just said, right? And with that, I feel like with that 2%, with that being said, that's just the year, right? You're looking at future years to come where you're going to be making stupid amounts of revenue once everything just blows over and comes back. I'm not saying that, we're going to continue this every year, but we're saying
No,
for this, and I mean,
right.
We'll do that, right?
But would you be comfortable with me telling you, like, I'm your boss, whatever? I see you walking through the door and stuff, whatever, at work.
Right.
You have a Black Lives Matter type of face mask. Everybody rocking face masks for style now, right?
Right.
Your shit say #BLM, right? I look at you and shit like, oh shit, that's the cause you're rocking with? I'm all for it. Tell you what, we were thinking of taking your paycheck, and just from your paycheck, we're gonna take like about $20 off each pay to support your Black Lives Matter thing. Are you okay with that?
Well, I would ask was what are you matching it with? Because if you're matching it with something, I'm okay with that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they just tell you this is what they're doing because the company is making this amount of money.
Yeah.
And they want to put it towards a cause, but they have an idea on what each person's cause is whatever.
Right.
So if they realize that might be your cause, they're just gonna take from you. So because the company will lose some money in the process.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna take a hit, you got to take a hit.
Well, I don't mind taking a hit as long as if you're saying altogether as a foundation on a whole, we'll take this hit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to match the hit that I'm taking, I don't mind that.
Some people won't. A good portion of people and stuff won't.
A good portion won't, but then some will. And then you know what? If you're doing it in a situation where majority rules, then majority rules. If like I'm at work right now, right? I pay union dues because I have to be a part of the union. I'm not paying union dues because I feel like the union dues is the greatest shit on earth, and they're gonna do this, that, and the fuck. No, the majority may think that. Like, so I gotta follow suit with the majority.
But that was in the beginning, though. But that's what I'm saying. In the beginning, when that would have been something and stuff. You walked in to the union already being there.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You weren't there when the union was not going in there and stuff like that, because a lot of people were probably griping and stuff about how much union dues might be. But you're a new person.
No, shit, not union, because union does some good work.
No, some. What do you say, some? But like, as I'm saying, like, you are there when there's these grassroots or these grass seeds and stuff are going in. You're looking like people gripe.
Yeah,
people gonna gripe. Be like, well, aren't you a billionaire company and stuff like that? Well, what the fuck? Why you guys can't just do this and fit this on your own? And they're looking like, yo, some shit gotta go, and it's for the greater good and a moral cause. And
more often than right, you as an employee, you're right. They are grinding to the point where they can do it on their own. They don't need necessarily need my help. But if I see that you're saying to yourself, if you're going to do it, and all we ask is say, okay, you make some small sacrifice too. Well, listen, as long as you're going to make that sacrifice, I can make that sacrifice. I can make that sacrifice with you. You know what I mean? Like, that would be my mentality. You're right. Not everybody's going to think that way.
Right.
But I just look at it from, if I'm taking the cue from the NFL and what we seen happen with the whole cap situation, how they started losing fans over that whole thing, right? And they lost a little bit of revenue over that whole thing, right? Where where it finally dawned onto them, we gotta get things in order, right? So what do? They reach out to Jay-Z now to say, okay, this is part of our solution of making this a more inclusive situation, right? They're not going out and saying that we're going, so some of these get these owners to give up their stake in the share, and you know what I mean, get some black owners up in there. They're not saying that, but they're gonna go through the culture to do it, right? Now, if at the point back then, because now they're all saying, yo, shit, we should have listened to Cap. Now they're saying that, right? But if back then they had listened to Cap, right, and said, okay, we're gonna make those changes, the same changes that they're doing with Jay, they could have did with Cap and said, listen, this is what we have an idea of making these changes. We're gonna put you there, and we're gonna bring in Jay-Z. It's still the same idea.
I'm not saying it's not, but you gotta, like, I always tell people, you gotta take in and stuff, whatever. Like, not everybody can articulate certain type of things and stuff in a matter.
Right.
Whatever. It's the speaker and the listener and stuff, and the audience, whatever, right?
But to me, I don't even feel like it's the speaker or the audience that's dictating the move that the NFL is making now. It's the loss of revenue that's dictating the moves that they're making now. right?
But that's what I'm saying. They seen the loss of revenue and stuff when
Right.
everything was popping off and everything like whatever, right?
Right.
But I mean, you can have a archaic kind of way or one way, a linear way of thinking,
Yeah.
and you see things and stuff in just this one way. And if all you see and stuff is the dollar aspect and stuff, whatever,
Right.
you're looking for solutions. You're looking any proper team management or business thing. You're looking like a 10-point solution. Why are we losing stock or why are we losing revenue and why we need to go back from red to green?
Right.
And their thing and stuff is that if you're mentioning this Kaepernick side and stuff, whatever, you're like, it seemed like the way you're speaking it is more of an emotional side, not a monetary side. When somebody else will say the same exact thing,
Right.
but bring it from a monetary more than emotional side and stuff to be like, oh, and then that other person and stuff in the room like, motherfucker, I said the same thing.
Right.
But it's the speaker. It's the speaker, how it's translated and stuff, whatever, across the board, whatever. Because it's kind of like, I can say, this soup is amazing. And then you could be like, oh, it brings me back to a time when my mom used to rub me on my back and tell me, baby, it's going to be okay. Which one are you really going with? It's the kind of the wording.
I'll rock with that argument if Jay-Z was the one that brought the argument to NFL. Because I feel it's the other way around. I feel the NFL was saying, hey, we now got to do damage control. So how do we do this?
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna go to someone who's a music mogul and someone who the culture has adapted and kind of championed, which would be a Jay-Z, right?
So, hold that thought. So you think if they brought Cap back in at that time, it would have brought the revenue back up? Hell no. I disagree.
If they brought Cap back in at that time,
yeah,
I think it would have changed a lot of people's perception. It may have not brought the revenue stream back, but it would have brought back those who stopped watching the NFL for that specific purpose. Because a lot of people weren't watching because that specific purpose. They're not. It's not,
absolutely. I
it's
agree.
not the fact that they weren't watching because the NFL was not entertaining enough. Come to the halftime shows, or did not do enough for black causes. It was never doing enough for black causes. Right. It's just this one thing that came up where people said, okay, now this is fucked up. We're no longer rocking with you, right? So now the NFL is saying, okay, shit, they're no longer rocking with us. We're losing profit. We're losing this, that, and the third. We got to now go into damage control and say, okay, how do we do this? So you're right. Reaching out for Jay-Z is twofold. You get to do that. Not only do you get that, but now you're producing revenue or you're producing profits, right? So do you let it get that far as the NBA? Now, I'm not saying as the NBA what we're going through now. We'll ever lose. I think black people just love basketball too damn much for it to ever be affected in that sort of way, shape, form, or how. You know what I mean? If they said all you black basketball players got to go back and dribble basketball and shut the hell up, black people are still gonna be watching the NBA. I guarantee you that.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that.
Yeah,
right. So when all's said and done, it's not like that they really have to do anything to make sure that their revenue is not falling or their profits is never at a profit loss. But this is more of, I would see this as more solidarity move, like when Nike got behind Kaepernick, right? They didn't have to, but they seen it as that opportunity to say, listen, what we know is unjust. We are going to be the company that stands behind it. And I think just the NBA just saying, listen, we understand this is unjust. We understand how the economic situation has been dealt with black people. We want to do what we feel is right. And we'll just say 1%, one season, a truncated season at that. Okay, you know what I mean? We'll make less than what we usually make. You know what I mean? But our image will come off so much more better.
I can agree. The image will come back, whatever. But people not taking that pay cut.
Yeah.
People not taking that pay cut because they're gonna bring it right back down to like, oh, this is what it is, and people be like, the fuck? Don't y'all got like saving deposits and stuff? Why y'all gonna tap into my shit?
They do.
I had 10 million people to feed and stuff in my town and my home and my family. The fuck you mean? Yo, so okay, let me ask you this now. So let's keep it like let's keep the dribble in motion and stuff going, whatever. Where do you think the future of the NBA and stuff lies and stuff pertaining to, like, let's say, even on the college level. Like on the college level and stuff, when they're coming out and everything like that, you're witnessing, you're a college student and stuff, whatever, you have to come home or go home because of COVID and now this BLN stuff going off and everything like that, whatever. You as a young black hooper, WNBA, and male players.
Right.
You're seeing all this type of stuff and everything, and you should realize the organization and stuff, whatever, is not there. Because you're saying in a hypothetical world or in a happy, if life was like that, you would need a Visa card world.
Yeah.
Where it's not like that and stuff, whatever. You're looking like, damn, this is the organization I'm striving to go into, and they're not willing to rock with causes like that. And I feel as a younger person trying to go into these type of organizations, I feel a type of way.
Yeah.
What do you think these players and stuff are going to start feeling like, whatever? Like, is the NBA not that kind of place for it, or is it just a separate matter?
You're going to have to separate the matter, I think, as a person. As a person. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, let's forget about the NBA, let's forget about the sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who is going to an occupation, if you're working for a Fortune 500 company, they may particularly have that same type of attitude, whereas they're not rocking with you or they're not just and so forth like that, right?
Correct.
But at the end of the day, you still got to live, right? So you can't say to yourself, well, because they're not rocking with me, I'm not going to go work for them. That might be the only job that you have. That might be your only source of income. That might be the only way of providing for your family and put food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So you just bite that bullet and you go to work, right? And you don't let the outside forces dictate you, right? So I look at as a personal thing. So I look at that as the same thing as these kids coming out of college, male or female, going into the NBA,
WNBA.
Like, you've worked for this opportunity, right?
Right.
It's not like there's a black version of the NBA where you can just say, screw you, I'm going to that, right? If you go play the ball in Europe, you may face the same thing. If you go play ball in Asia, you may face the same thing.
What about Ice Cube's 3-on-3 thing? The big three?
Well, you know what? If it gets to the point where it's blown up huge major where they can offer big ass contracts, then why not? But there's only so many people who can be in that league because it's only 3-on-3.
Bring back slam ball.
Remember slam ball?
The trampoline. People thought they were really nice. Guys jumping from the damn 3-point line, windmilling. I'm like, bruh, if the trampoline wasn't there, you wasn't going nowhere.
Slam ball.
Yo,
I'd watch that. I'd watch it.
I watched a few.
I ain't gonna even lie, man.
Who did it? Who did it?
Remember, what was the XFL? Remember
the XFL with the guy with the jersey?
Come on,
he hates me.
Come on,
he hates me. You can get a
shit,
customized jersey. Come on, man.
Shit.
Come on, you got to, man. Okay. So now, when it comes to these kids and stuff, whatever, going to these schools, right? We spoke about NCAA paying players,
right,
in the near future and stuff like that, right? Some states are just moving forward and faster, more progressive than others,
right?
So I think California is the first, and their 2021 school year, they're going to be paying their NCAA players and stuff, whatever, dinero,
right,
and let them allow endorsements.
Now, is that through all the divisions, or is that just like the AAA division?
I think they said by 2025, it should be through all the divisions.
Okay.
But they're going to allow endorsements and stuff for them. So it's not the school paying them, the players.
Right.
But they're going to allow the players.
Companies can get they can get their own.
Like if they want to throw a Gatorade commercial and stuff for like your son.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Okay.
Because he could be the next prospect and stuff, whatever, like fresh out of college since MJ.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Fresh out of high school, LeBron and Kylie Jenner. I'm lying?
No. Yeah.
They were scooping Iron Kylie down like guys wasn't expecting R. Kelly charges supposed to be handed out.
Yeah.
So, because she was getting plastic surgery from like she was 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She to get the lips. Was it the lips she got?
The lips And then she got the tits right before her 18th birthday and everything.
Was it a mom and daughter? Was it a mom and daughter?
Yeah.
Mom and daughter moves?
So, like, you got players and stuff, whatever. Like, would you recommend a young dominant athlete who is quote unquote black? Would you recommend them to go to Yale, Stanford, Ivy League schools, or like schools like Carolina if they're hooping,
right?
Duke,
yeah.
These top tier teams or universities and stuff, whatever. Or would you recommend them to go to HSBCUs?
I would say it's depending on the type of player.
What do you mean?
If you're a
dominant high school force,
yeah. If you're a dominant high school force that could personally change the outlook on a game, then I say an HBCU could be a good look for you. One, because of the division that you're in, right? Mm-hmm. You're obviously gonna shine, right? You ain't gonna have nobody to hold you or keep you back.
I don't know.
If you're gonna think of all the major competition that you would face, if we're looking at the top 10 high school players in the country, how many of them are going to be in the HCBU versus, right? And then you got to think of the year before that was.
Well, they're trying to get scooped though. They're trying to get scooped and they're trying to get looked at and they're trying to get certain type of things. I'm not saying you won't be a dominant force or he or she might be in a dominant force.
Yeah.
But it's on a level of like, I look at it like this. I don't want to fuck up your train of thought, but think about and one mixtape dudes. Remember that?
Right.
And you have NBA players and stuff, whatever. I feel like there's so many guys in and one mixtape, minus and all the extra round dribble shit, whatever, could probably ice a good portion of NBA players.
Yeah.
But then it's the exposure though. 100%. Who gets more exposed? The NBA or the and one? And I look at like NBA would be your normal D1 schools, Ivy League schools, your type of schools that go into like the NCAA, Final Fours and shit like that, whatever. Compared to like and one mixtape, like the black schools.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. But you also got to remember, like these scouts that are in the NBA now, mm-hmm. they're scouting from high school.
Facts.
Right? So if they know you're like the number 2 player, mm-hmm. right? In high school basketball in the nation, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what school you go to. They're going to come look for you and come watch you play and see how you're developing.
Right. But then you're the student, though. They're coming to see you.
Yes.
You got Grambling coming at you.
Right.
And then you got Duke or North Carolina coming at you. They both come to watch your game and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Grambling comes and shakes your hand. Hi, Mr. Not Your Average. How are you? You being a black man, us being a black school, you should set the trend and stuff to let them know that black players' lives matter. And come support your peoples.
Right. Okay.
And then you got Duke and stuff. You're like, yo, you come on this side, you go into the Final Four. Stop playing. Stop playing.
But how many people have gone to the NBA that have not gone to the Final Four? And that, like I'm saying, that are phenomenal standout players. See,
tons.
So this is now what these guys, I think these young kids are looking at. It's like, yo, it doesn't matter. I think it was the Miller kid I heard say is like, yo, I could be a pro at Stanford mm-hmm. or a pro at Howard. It doesn't matter regardless. I'm still a pro, right? So if you're looking for a pro player, mm-hmm. you're just going to come get me regardless of where I'm at, right? So he's saying, why am I now going to go to all these Ivy League schools
where they might racially go against you and hurt you and everything
third,
like
you know
that?
What I mean? Where, you know what I mean? I'm not amongst my peoples. And not only that, now everybody who is following me from high school, I'm bringing all the coverage to the school.
Absolutely.
Right? Why can't I do the same thing and go to Howard, bring the same coverage of all those people who would have followed me to Duke and bring it to Howard? Now Howard's getting this light. While Howard is getting this light, right? More people who look like me be like, yeah, man, fuck them Ivy League schools. Let me go over to Howard because, yo, I'm not the only person who's nice over there. They actually got, 2 or 3 people who are nice.
Facts.
Then all of a sudden now, Howard got a nice squad of the top 20 in the country basketball players, and now they're really balling. So now that you look at the landscape, it's different because have we ever seen Howard in the Final Four, like in a Sweet 16 tournament? No. So could you imagine if they hit the Sweet 16 tournament? How much black kids are looking at that now and saying, "Shit, well, I don't need to be, you know what I mean, looking for the Dukes or the Michigans or the, you know what I mean, because first of all, they only want me for one thing. At least if I'm coming to Howard is saying to himself, listen, son, you may not make it to the NBA, but there's a future for you in this. And they're going to push me to get towards where I need to go so that I can go back to the community and tell everybody that I got this college degree. And even if you're not basketball, this is where you need to go. This is where you need to be and so forth like that."
I don't think the bag is in black schools yet.
No, the bag is definitely not in the bag.
So that's the reason why I don't think they're going to be going.
So you think they're going for just the bag?
They're going for the bag because think about it. Like if so many people and stuff, whatever, if you know you're nice with or you're confident in your skills and everything like that, whatever, you might be great in your town. You might be great in your city or your district and everything like that, whatever. But then when you go amongst these other kids who have felt the same way that they were great wherever the fuck they came from and everything and stuff, whatever, you might be in the top 5 if you're a true elitist.
Right.
And if not, whatever, you're still trying to get this bag because now you know that they'll still help pay for your school. You can probably get some funds, get a Gatorade check or something like that. And you know the eyes and stuff are kind of focused on these money places and stuff, whatever. I think they're going for the bag.
But if the sponsorships are no longer going through the schools and they're coming directly to the players, then why couldn't you be at a Howard and get a Gatorade sponsor?
Because their main thing and stuff is exposure and stuff, whatever. Is like because they don't dictate the TV. They don't dictate that.
No, they
so
don't.
That's what I'm saying. They're looking for like, okay, we want to see your black ass out there with that Gatorade sipping it or pouring it on your head. You ain't win no championship.
They don't dictate TV yet.
Yeah, but you're gonna plan for a possible compared to the definite.
But if you go out, right, let's say you're Howard, right, and you go out, you win the first 10 games of your season, right? You're gonna start demanding coverage. I look at it like okay, for Raptors, we wouldn't get any coverage on the national television.
Correct.
Right? It wasn't until we started winning. You know what I mean? Winning makes all the difference.
Of course.
Now people want to say, okay, well, we got to go over and see who beat LA. We got to go over and see these people. Oh, they balling. Oh, shit, they won a championship. Oh, they've done so many things. So yes, at this moment, it wouldn't be lucrative for you to go to a black college. You would have to be basically doing it on the strength of you're trying to start something with the realization that you're going to start something.
Got to be starting something.
Hopefully, after you started, generations down the line, you know what I mean. Hopefully, it don't take that long for enough talent to be circulating in these black HBCU schools, and for TV coverage to start saying, "Well, shit, Duke games is boring. Ain't nobody over there."
This is a perfect commercial time for Black Fridays. You got to start something from somewhere.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But now these television companies are saying, well, we're airing the Duke games. The Duke games are buried, boring as hell because white man can't jump. You know what I mean? And they're looking over at Howard, niggas is balling. You know what I mean? Cheerleaders. You know what I mean? And it's a throwdown now. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? You have all the rappers going to the game. You know what time it is.
It got to start somewhere.
It's got to start somewhere.
They need to come together in a collective. You're right. Give them a little briefing and stuff for that real quick on how your Black Friday was. By Black Friday.
Oh, so that, it was a chill experience, man. It's funny because before we even got into it, and it was just a thought that we were still having. You took it upon yourself one Friday
first Friday of June.
The first Friday of June. You took it upon yourself to experience the whole thing, and then I think I was the next time we recorded. You were talking to me and basically saying
it's basic. It's easy.
It's basic. There's nothing to it, and
you can do it. Put your wallet into it.
You can do it. Put your wallet into it, and that got me thinking to say, you know what? It is. It's really not something that's hard to do, and I think if I document my day, it would give people some sort of understanding because they might think of, well, how do you go through an entire day without purchasing anything outside your community.
Mhm.
So that's why I actually started filming from the Friday night. I bought gas
Mhm.
because we always discussed that. We would do that sort of thing
Prior
or after.
Correct.
So the Friday night I got gas because that was the only thing that I really in my mind thought that I would need throughout the Friday.
Mhm.
That if I purchased, I would be cheating, right?
Correct.
So that was that. So I started from Thursday, I bought the gas, then I woke up the Friday and realized, there was no juice in the fridge and there was no milk or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
Now, typically on a day like, I would just say screw it. If I'm not going to the grocery store, I'd be like, these kids just gotta drink water and just be happy with that. But I thought about it and I said, you know what? This is actually a perfect opportunity for me to go to the Fresh Go that is at near the Brampton City Center.
Give the major intersection.
So the major intersection would be Queen Street and Dixie.
Okay.
I believe Dixie. Queen Street and Dixie.
Mhm.
It would be that's where the mall starts. So it would be on the other side of the mall. I can't remember what that particular street is called.
That's fine. It's close
but there's a
enough.
Fresh Go there, right? And that Fresh Go is actually owned by this gentleman by the name of Dwayne. I can't remember his last name. Sorry about that. But I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to go and show Dwayne some support. Now it's a far drive from where I'm located, but at the same time, it was the day for it, right? So I was like, I'm gonna make this part of my journey, and I'm gonna go and support Dwayne. Not only am I gonna go support Dwayne, but maybe a good portion. If you haven't been at that location to shop, you would know that it's Black owned because you don't know who owns what, right? It's only when you get on the inside you see the
because
faces.
it's a corporation, right?
And only when you're on the inside you see the face of the actual store owner. That's how I knew he was Black because they have a picture of him. It's in one of the videos. So yeah, I did that. I had to plan on supporting Delicious products. I think we the week before we said we're gonna get ourselves some rum punch and some rum cream. So I had that in the mix. Then I think during the week it's so funny how things work out because during the week, MK Ultra, who's Michelle, phenomenal photographer. She does
Salute to Michelle.
She does our pictures and so forth like that. She was actually editing some pictures for our website that we're about. Website's launching soon, folks. For the website. And she had this idea of I have these ones that I'm edit, but why don't you guys come by? We'll do a free shoot and we'll get some fresh ideas from some fresh stuff and so forth that. So I was more than happy to do that, and because of Friday made perfect sense. I was off already, and we were doing a whole Black Friday. I figured, we'll just incorporate that. So we did that.
The more Black businesses in one
more
day,
Black
the better.
business, the better.
Mhm.
So we did that. That same day, I did a post for the Buy Black Friday. It's a start July 3rd. This gentleman who has a rolling paper products called Yardy Rolling Papers, he reposted that actual image on his page. So I said, oh, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Because I haven't done anything as far as Black Fridays on my page with his specific branding. And here he is taking the initiative and saying, no, this is a good look. This is what we should be doing. And he reposted on his page. So I reached out to him, that same day and said, listen, man, if you're in town or close to me, I would like to support you. So he came by and he brought some rolling papers for my trees. And I said, is this a good opportunity? There's so much in the pack. I think there was like 25 in the pack. I said, you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to go to all the smokers that I know and kind of be like, hey, this is, I know you're used to your raws. I know you're used to your zigzags, but check this out, test this out, man. I ain't saying you got to go to town with these, but see how they, if they work for you, this is a Black owned company and you can support a brother doing something.
That's good of you.
Yeah. So I just been giving them away, man. And just, and letting people know about that. Then on my way home, I hit up one of my chef friends, D Finest Catering, and said, I want to get some wings. Yeah, I mean, 'cause, you go home after a long day of doing this, that, and the third. You get kind of peckish. Usually stop at the fast food joint, and so even though he's not close to me, I respect the hustle and what you're doing, and if you got a plan to do what you're doing, because he's in the restaurant industry.
Correct.
So they're facing a
crisis
fight right now. Yeah, they're in a real crisis right now.
How about the only 3 restaurants after August?
Dude,
they're trying to stay alive.
And he works for the MLSE.
Okay.
So he's a chef at the restaurant, and he cooks for the actual corporation building. So, and they've been shut down for the longest. You know what I mean? So he decided, well, he can't just sit back and not do anything. He's gonna go full force with the catering and stuff like that. So I say, yo, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? And this is what we're about: people who are now taking care of themselves, looking after themselves, and not sitting down and just waiting. You know what I mean? So
right.
Whatever we can do to support, we're just out there supporting. So it was cool, man. If you all haven't seen it yet, I've documented the day. It's on the Black Fridays page. It's on the Podical Sons page, because this is it's something that I mentioned and Marv felt very strongly about that we should do. So I mean, we really getting behind it. We have our friend Naya Jules helping out. She's really getting behind it. She recruited a lot of people to the ideas.
People run to it.
It's
if you're focused and you're for the people,
yeah,
and you're for the community, you run to it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, man. See, I mean, people are asking us why not every Friday, but we got to start small. We got to
small. We don't want to be performing at HSBCU colleges, having these pop ass champagne parties.
Yeah,
we got to start small.
We got to start small.
We got to go to the school and show the talent.
Right. Exactly.
So we got to show them the talent, show them the work, and everything will fall in place.
I think the what the greatest thing about this, Marv, was yesterday. Me and wifey was coming home from visiting another Black business guy who does, he does countertops. We're trying to change out our countertops.
Mm-hmm.
On our way home, her girlfriend is the one that does Lost In, that whole Lost in Toronto stuff like that.
Okay.
The sweaters and so
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
She said that ever since that we did the Black Friday post for her,
mm-hmm.
she's been having orders nonstop. She's like, yo, I just really want to thank you guys. So I say, yo, we appreciate that enough, like, because that's what we set out to do. We set out to expose the businesses so our people can see and be able to patronize you guys. Like, yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. So she was more than happy, man. She said, she's been consistently getting orders ever since the post. So I said, yo, that's what's up.
That's business, baby.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. I'm not mad at that, whatever. I feel like that's what it should come down to.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you're for it and you realize and stuff, whatever, people have tons of excuses why they don't support Black businesses.
Yeah.
And our main thing and stuff is that if we're going to rock with you or we're going to have your business be posted on this thing, the issue that people always say, Black people have no customer service.
Yeah.
So we make sure the businesses we have and stuff we rock with customer service. Because if they're not going to be affiliated with the Buy Black Friday movement. Because we need people and stuff to feel good, feel like they're A-okay to spend their money there,
for sure,
to come back and stuff and do it again. If not next month, then maybe next week, Friday.
For sure.
And then oncoming to be like, it'll be a regular thing to them.
I think when you show a business a certain patronage, you don't want to just feel like your money's valued, but you also want to feel like as a customer you're valued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I think that's the biggest thing that people in business have to understand.
Absolutely.
It's like these people, they don't have to support you, right? They're supporting you because you're providing a service, and we got to be grateful for that. You know what I mean? We got to be thankful for that, and part of showing you the appreciation is how you treat people.
Absolutely. You gotta convince me. You gotta convince me why I should mess with you over X, Y, and Z amount of places that might be closer and stuff for that. But if your customer service is on point, you recognize me as a person and not by the dollar amount that I spend and everything like that, whatever. I'm more inclined to go out my way to go see you.
You know what? That just, I mean, shout out to Color Barbershop, man, because that just reminds me of the conversation Color was having with us.
Yeah.
With the dude who walked into the shop and, you know what I mean?
Judge a book by its cover.
But the customer service itself
of course,
won him over. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that he's a phenomenal barber who's gets a lot of ratings. You know what I mean? The dude knew that, but he was still apprehensive. And it wasn't until he sat down in the chair, the conversation started flowing, and the level of customer service was so much that he just couldn't deny it.
We are all humans.
That's
Earthlings.
Yeah, Earthlings.
In order to be a human, you have to have humanity. A lot of motherfuckers don't have humanity out in this bitch. Dog eat dog? No, you're an earthling. You're a habit in the earth. In order to be human, you have to have humanity.
Question for you, Marv.
Fire.
If humans can be beings, what other beings do you think is out there?
Lima beans, cherry beans. Well, there's tons of beings out there. I never once said that we're the only ones out here. If anybody think we're the only one out here, they're selfish.
Yeah.
There's other beings and stuff that we just can't process yet.
Yeah.
Or we haven't seen yet. Because for most people, seeing is believing, right?
That's it.
So they can hear a ghost, they can hear some type of things and stuff, but when they actually see some shit, that's when they start to believe. So seeing is believing for them. You know what I'm looking for? I'm not gonna lie to you. What I'm looking forward to, like in like a black business and stuff, to come back up again. You mentioned it in a convo, like when it came to like Black Planet and stuff like that. That would be nice.
Yeah.
To kind of come back and stuff for that, or even if it's like Black Planet's more honed into a dating kind of realm,
right?
Thing, because people went on Black Planet to congregate and everything.
Yeah.
And I felt like in so many steps, Bumble was like that. Because you can turn on Bumble and stuff, whatever, for business,
right?
For friendship, or just for dating purposes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, up to this point, I thought it was just a dating app.
No.
Okay.
I just use it for dating because you know I'm your single friend. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what you can do and stuff and everything.
Okay, I got it.
On Bumble and stuff. So I think that it would have been dope if like Black Planet, not saying it come back and everything, because
they never left. I mean, if it's like you can log on to the site right now, it's there.
It's there, but I mean,
what they got to do is now they got to bring it into this century.
Yeah, they got to bring it in this century and get the people to come back, because it's kind of like I can go play Call of Duty right the fuck now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on my PS3.
Yeah, and it'll be
no. There might be, let's say there might be maybe 50 people and stuff in the world playing it.
Really?
On a PS3. That's what I'm saying. We're playing on PS4. The newer one is flooded with people.
Okay.
But the older one isn't. So if the newer one is like Bumble, that's flooded with people.
Got it.
But Black Planet and stuff, whatever, is older because it's not, not a lot of people and stuff there.
Right.
They got to do something to kind of get the people back.
Yeah.
Or get some of this crowd to kind of come back on that
side.
Well,
you basically got to do what Facebook, IG, and WhatsApp is doing.
Let Mark Zuckerberg own you?
You basically got to put those components back into Black Planet because that's what people are, our people are using it for. You know what I mean? So if you can incorporate all that stuff into a Black Planet and say, listen, man, we had that over here. You ain't got to worry about Facebook spying on your shit, doing this, that, and the third, and that. Come back to this platform. You get one or two, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because Black people love the shit out of Black Planet because you could customize a page and make that shit look, you know what I mean?
I know. You can't do shit like that on Instagram.
You can't do shit like that on Instagram. You can't do shit like that on Facebook. Can you imagine you could do that shit like I used to do in like MySpace?
MySpace? Oh, I had music.
What?
Jump off. In my MySpace, jump off. Homegirl. Yeah.
Shit. You know you're coming back just for that alone. What? Every artist is gonna be there with their own customized page.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Pretty
so
much.
it's just not and now would be the perfect time because we're sick of corporations telling us what to do. We sick of Big Brother spying on our shit. You know what I mean? It was like shit. If anybody gonna be spying on our shit, might as well be our own people.
True, until they sell it.
Yeah, until they sell it.
So Can I ask you this? During these tough COVID times,
We're thinking about a t-shirt. Y'all really gotta let us know if we should make the t-shirt, man. Because I think I'd wear a t-shirt like that.
During these tough COVID times, should single people still try to date?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Why? I'm curious for you. It's a need, not a want. So,
listen, I think at the end of the day, the world doesn't stop.
mm-hmm.
We just gotta figure out how to operate in this new world.
I can testify to that. You're right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
because I want to say the meetups now, like when I'm to meet like a young woman and everything, like whatever. It's from phone conversation. So pre-COVID,
right?
Phone conversation. We should go for dinner. After COVID or post-COVID world, conversation, let's social distance in like a parking lot and a coffee place and stuff, whatever. Because I don't feel comfortable with some restaurants and stuff, whatever. I understand some of them took precautions and stuff like that, whatever, but you don't know who was there before you got there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that, you can't swear for everybody else's diligence. You're clean, my clean, and people watching and stuff, whatever, they're clean, or 3 different types of cleans.
Yeah. 3 different types of cleans.
So I'm not ready for that and stuff yet, whatever.
Think of it this way, right? In the 60s, no, let's see, maybe let's start from like this, like the 60s, 70s, 80s. I would say late 80s going into, you know what I mean, the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was free love. You went willy-nilly with listen to what I'm saying. You went willy-nilly with shit, right? In the 80s,
when AIDS came out,
started to take.
Oh, so willy-nilly was raw dogging.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the 80s came around, and
it means unprotected sex.
Willy-nilly. You willy and you're nilly. You're nilly and you're willy. Unprotected sex, right? Mm-hmm. So then now we got to the 80s now, where we started, sexually contracted diseases started to rise more. The cases of AIDS started to rise more. Now it became a situation whereas, listen, we can date, we can do this, but before we get intimate, we both have to be tested.
Social distance that dick.
And now it's like it almost became a norm, because now you don't want to pass anything on things. So you both would go get tested before you would actually do the deed. So now I'm saying is, now listen, it's a situation where, well, first and foremost, they gotta have to improve the way that they test me and shit. If I gotta get a brain stab every time to get a clean bill of health to go out to date somebody, I'm probably gonna be a monk, to be honest with you, right?
Pretty much.
But I mean, if they make the testing where it's a convenient thing, dating can still happen. It's like, yo, like, we're gonna meet up. Have you been tested? I haven't done my test yet. Oh, I done my test. Test results is this. I'm clean. I'm good to go. You're clean. You're good to go. We meet up and we date, right? This is like I'm saying, like, we now have to, the world doesn't stop. We just got to now figure out ways of working around the situation or the cards that we've been dealt.
True. I just feel like some people and stuff, they might feel unsafe and stuff, whatever, to just go by the person's word. And some people might feel like me bringing paperwork or that person bringing paperwork and stuff, whatever, to like the meetup and everything might be a breach of privacy. Not a breach of privacy, but it's kind of low. Too much info for a person you just barely know.
Yeah, but you know what, though? It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It's the
world we're in right now.
I mean, but okay, look at social media. Why do people have private profiles and stuff where they only got fucking photos of their cats and cakes and a slice of pizza they ordered and stuff whatever 2 years ago? Like, you're because they don't feel like they need to let that thing off to like just the majority of the world.
See,
and even that something else that's more regarding to your health.
And I used to think that way of it being, you know what I mean, and only reason why would someone have a private page? Mm-hmm. But then within the last, I would say, month or so, I get so much rogue advertisements or so much rogue this, that, and the third coming at me that I said, shit, that shit wouldn't happen if my page was private. So I can understand why some people keep pages private.
Who sent you? Who sent you? Which FBI agent sent you?
Some people don't want to hit back. Some people just want to don't not be bothered
Then
at
block.
all. You know what I mean?
Then block.
Block is there. Block
That
is
block
there.
is quick.
Block is there.
Have you ever felt unsafe meeting up for a date?
No.
Never.
No. I'm coming from the old school time, man, where shit was, you know what I mean? The only thing you had to worry about was being catfished.
So I came up in a time where there's women and stuff that will set up dudes.
Oh, yeah.
And at my time and stuff, whatever, like it's kind of like, yo, you'll go to a place. Hey, boo, I'll meet you at such and such. Yeah, all right, great. You there with like flowers and shit waiting, and then you see like a van kind of just circle around and like, you'd be like, oh shit, they about to get me. I mean, I felt unsafe several times.
Mm-hmm.
So at meetups and stuff whatever. So even like this COVID thing and stuff whatever, I'm like, yo, I don't know. When I talked to the chick on the phone before we did like a FaceTime, anything and stuff, or a video chat through WhatsApp,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing no cough. I'm not seeing no sneeze.
Right.
But then when I see her stuff, whatever, like, what's going on with you? You got the cocoa? Is that Rona? Is that you? You're like, no, I got allergies. This has been swell. But yeah, I ain't fucking with that. So I'm, it's just a thought.
I hear you.
Yo, speaking of dating shit, do you think I have commitment issues?
If I think I don't think so.
Bless your heart. Somebody told me I'm like a kid in a candy store with $1.
You ain't get much with $1. They better.
But I'm sampling.
Okay. You sampling, but you don't want to spend that $1.
I do want to spend $1, but I got to know where I'm spending $1.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, the $1, but it ain't gonna get you much. So
I thought,
you gotta be.
hold on. You come from the generation with if the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Ain't that your generation?
That's my generation.
So that's what I'm saying. If the juice ain't worth the squeeze, so you got to make sure the juice is worth the squeeze.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's it. Why do you think some people have commitment issues, though? I know it could be an entourage of shit, but give me a top 3.
Fear that there's something out there better for them. I think that would. That's number one. I think that would be the number one.
That's
issue.
number one.
Yeah.
Because people have a fear of settling. They feel like, yo, they're settling.
Yeah. To me, that would be the number one. I mean, there's many, but I think that's probably the biggest one. The fear of that. Yeah, you this might be the one for you, but then what if it's not really the one for you and the one for you is really out there? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's got to be a psychological thing at that point. Because who's truly going to be the one for you? I mean, we've said this all the time. You're not going to find 100% of what you're looking for in one person.
80,
I don't think so.
80-20? 80 what you need, 20 what you don't want.
20 what you don't want.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say that would be, you know, if you're fighting commitment, it's probably because you feel like you haven't found what you're looking for.
That's dope. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, no, I feel
and
like
at that point, are you really fighting commitment, or are you just not willing to settle?
I guess it's a settling type of thing.
It's a settling thing.
It's a settling thing.
Because like I said, I don't think you have any problem with commitment, but
I was married once.
Right. So but you're now conscious on who you're now going to choose to settle with.
You're damn right.
So there it is. Welcome to my TED Talk, man.
Your Fred Talk.
My Fred Talk?
But we talk fuck shit too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Welcome to the Fred. Welcome to the Fred.
Welcome to the Fred Talk. If you were single, which dating app would you use?
If I was single,
you got Christian Mingle. Hold on.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna read you your shit.
List them off because you single, so you know.
I'm gonna read you your shit. So things that might help you. Elite singles.
Elite singles. Why elite singles?
Why elite singles?
Yeah.
I feel like you're an elite kind of guy.
Now, is that geared to more like the business professional, the more...
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say you're a Bumble kind of guy because you're able to versatile and be okay and fun, exuberant.
Yeah.
Tinder might work for you. I feel like Hinge.
I'm not the Hinge type of Brendan.
I'm on Hinge.
You're on Hinge?
Hinge don't really work for me.
But I'm about to say, Hinge still sound like it would work for somebody with commitment issues.
No, Hinge could work, but you see, I think, I don't know. I feel like, salute to John. John was a fucking asshole for this. John said, he feels like Tinder is a D1 school. Hinge is like the D5 school. He's like, he feels like the talent, he's like, if the talent roams into that realm,
Yeah.
he's like, they kind of roll too far past Bumble. So you can find the same kind of talent in Bumble and Hinge.
Yeah.
But in Bumble, they kind of have more of their business side that might show compared to Elite Singles, where the business side shows a lot more.
Right.
Hinge is kind of like, hey, I'm here, please. I don't want to be alone. And you might run into some quote unquote tree monsters and everything like that, right?
Okay, well, since you broke it down like that, I would probably say Elite Singles and Bumble. Bumble for the mere fact that I do a lot of business, and that would also incorporate that side of things.
Because you can flip flop in between.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I can probably spend the entire day.
And you can look for a friend.
And look for a friend.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And look for a friend. Just make sure that you're on the friend thing. So when you go swiping for a guy, you're looking like, this guy, I like this, and this. Me too. And then you might be on a random gay date and you don't even know it, whatever.
You even know what happened?
I mean, because if you end up on a random gay date, if he treats you proper, that's all on you. He's like, yo, look, I just want to take you to an NBA game. When they get out the bubble, they get out the hub and everything like that. Be like, shit. And floor seats are hit different. Floor seat menu is different too. When they hit you, that floor seat menu is a different kind of menu. When they're there with the menu and they're like, yo, you got to save up a paycheck just to eat what the fuck they... And then
you mean escargot on the floor seat?
Right, but then my man look at you like, don't worry about it. That's all on me. Your money's not good here.
I got you.
You're not going to eat?
Oh, I'm going to eat.
Okay.
I'm going to eat something.
But then at the end of the night, if he's trying to reach in for a different kind of hug...
Oh, yeah, we going, this is a timeout.
Be like, hey. You'll be like,
referee timeout.
But he's like, hey, which side of Bumble did you think you were on? Did you on the friendship side or the dating side?
He's on the wrong side, dude.
He was on the wrong side,
dude.
So you're like, hey, I don't know. But I just look at it stuff that like commitment issues is a hell of a thing that pops up and stuff, whatever. But I like what you said and stuff, whatever. Like, yo, is there someone for everyone or some people for you? My personal thing, I feel like it's stuff that I don't want to sound kind of like, not even on the second corny, but I don't want to sound hypocritical to think just for myself.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're just tied to one person. Like the soulmate thing. We spoke about the soulmate thing. Like your parents could be a soulmate. This person could be a soulmate. You don't have to be with them.
Yeah.
But I feel like that could be like to people and stuff that you're supposed to be with. Let's say if like you get like 10 soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
One might be a parent, one might be a good friend of the same sex that you're not attracted to. And then one might be your wife. Right? One might be for one of your children. And then you have 6 for other possible women that you could be tied to, you could be with.
Yeah.
So I feel like, there's some people for you.
Yeah, I think that I would say there's some people for you. And then every now and then there might be a specific person for you. Like okay, let me put it this way. Out of that sum, that might be one person that works better for you out of that.
Than the rest.
Yeah, than the rest.
So what if the person that doesn't, like, let's say, if that person's like number 10 out of 10 on working better with you, and you got the other one that might be like 2 out of 10 working with you and stuff like that. The 2 out of 10, I feel they can learn some things about you, kind of boost their rating.
Right.
So I feel like things you can learn. Like you can learn to love somebody.
Things you can learn.
And you can grow to be with a person.
Well, it's you're either gonna learn it or it's gonna come naturally, right? So that's what I'm saying. With the one that stands out of that, the sum, that's probably that something that comes naturally.
It goes back to the hairy freak leak we were talking about and stuff, with my peoples and stuff, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hands down, the greatest woman on the planet. I think top contender.
Right.
She just got hairy armpits and a hairy cooch.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes you got to take a barber.
During these tough COVID times, you gotta self-cut. Yo.
These tough COVID times.
You gotta self-cut. Self-cut the cooch.
Become a barber. Throw a
Yo.
little design in there. You want the heart shape this time, sweetheart? You're like, all right.
Let me ask you this now. We'll get to one last thing before we jump into the question of the week. Does being polite to someone that you dislike, does that mean that you're two-faced?
Nah. I don't think so.
So yeah, I feel like
You feel like it makes you two-faced?
no, but a lot of people and stuff will jump and read that thing and stuff that are in the forefront first. Like they'll look at stuff like, I thought you didn't like that person, or I thought you didn't rock with dude and everything, or a set person and everything like that. But here you are, grinning and smiling stuff in their face, and then people look at you like you're a snake, you're a rat.
Mm. You know, one of my favorite quotes is from that movie. Shit has gentleman in the title. That's that spy movie.
Spy movie?
Yeah.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Not League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The one with Eggsy. Was it Gentleman?
The Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
It's not Gentleman. The Kingsman.
Yeah.
There's a quote in there that when he said it, it stuck with me. And that's, manners maketh man.
Manners maketh the man. You're right.
Right? And like it's one of the things that I live by.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm always going to have a certain amount of manners and a certain amount of respect, regardless of what the situation is,
mm-hmm.
and regardless of who the person is. That you cannot change about me, right? So I never look at it as I would never look at it as a two-faced action. I would just look at it as
manners.
Me being me. And that part about me, that mannerism will never go away.
I see that.
You know what I mean?
I see that.
At the same time, like, I don't have to like you, but there's certain things about you I can still respect.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we say so say the sons. Like we're on board when we say our so say the sons. Right? Do not be blinded by your bias.
Mm. Yeah.
If you're blinded by your bias and everything and stuff like that, it's gonna shun everything else.
Yes. Exactly.
So once you have a bias up, whatever, where your manners vanish, like with your behavior change and those type of things, whatever, manners make it the man. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I mean, which is good, because I feel like you're not an asshole. You can function in society.
Of course. Yeah.
But some people just can't.
No.
Some people are like, this bitch. Fuck that. And just angry. And
that's it.
They start bearing fans.
That's it. Yeah.
Whatever, right? And I'm like, that's not going to get us anywhere. And stuff
nowhere at all.
And I feel like people lost touch with manners and etiquette. Especially in today's time.
I agree with you 100%.
Like, I feel like they need, my personal opinion, I feel like they need to teach like manners and etiquette in like some of these grade schools.
100%.
Like before we used to have I hope they still have like the elective classes.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not throwing in as elective and stuff, like, because home ec was an elective, whatever.
Home
right?
ec wasn't.
They need to throw that shit in there because social skills. We were talking about social skills and stuff, but they then tying that in together with manners, etiquette, and social skills.
But they used to teach. They used to teach etiquette. They used to teach that.
Really?
It used to. Well, I mean, sorry.
I know they had etiquette schools.
Yeah, I would say like great. Like when I say used to teach it, like there was
etiquette schools. Yeah.
Schools for that. You know what I mean? But to teach that in the grade, you know what I mean, in the grade or the public school system, yeah.
Yeah, I dated a girl a long time ago. She went to an etiquette school because she was in like one of the beauty pageants type of things. I'm not superficial to date beauty pageant chick. I like regular everyday women too, by the way, ladies. But she went and they taught her how to eat with the forks, like how the ballroom dance. Like it was a different kind of shebang. Have high tea, how to conduct yourself, and everything and stuff like that. Even if, like, I don't know how long they might make that course and stuff into schools, but I mean, manners, social skills, and etiquette needs to be rolled into this thing because I feel like even my generation, we're slacking on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can even only imagine the generation after me.
Shit, I gotta tell you what, my generation is slacking in on some of that shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It may be, my generation might be the last where the parents would actually try to force it. You know what I mean? But I think when we became parents, I don't think we really made that heavy
Effort?
emphasis on it. You know what I mean? Some of us, you know what I mean? I mean, we still, you know what I mean? Like I tell my kids all the time that you gotta have manners. You know what I mean? You gotta conduct
Peer pressure's a
yourself.
motherfucker too. Because like if like you teaching them that, and then when they go and see their friends not doing it, they tend to pick up like
They tend
in between
to pick it up.
both.
Right.
In between both type of dads. Right? Okay. Cool. Let's get to the question of the week.
Question of the week.
Question of the week. What gives you pleasure in life?
Succeeding at things.
Succeeding at things, not getting your seeds sucked.
I mean, that gives me pleasure.
Okay,
too.
all right.
Succeeding at things. Yeah.
What else?
Seeing people succeed at things.
People you know.
People I know.
No, I agree too.
I love seeing when hard work is rewarded.
People I rock with,
Yeah.
it gives me a great sensation and stuff like that. Whatever, I don't know. Like I feel like, because I feel like we win.
Yeah.
Is that selfish of me?
No,
Like I'm not trying to take their flame, their guts, their glory, but I just feel like it's a
You know
weird.
what the funny thing is, Mark? When you say that, a lot of people would ask me, why, like, you do so much for other people and you do less for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And they would ask me why.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always tell them, because I believe if that person makes it with all the encouragement and stuff like that, you know what I mean? One of us is there.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives the person who's not there an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to come up underneath that person.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I'm always looking at it as whether if you and I are doing the thing and I'm pushing you to get to where you need to go,
Mm-hmm.
and you go and that's it, great. I'm there sitting down now saying, now this is the opportunity that you're there for you to look back at me and say, yo, I'm gonna pull you up too. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And pull me up too. So I never look at my efforts being a wasted efforts as part of helping somebody else. Now, that's in a perfect world. Sometimes that person you help get up there, don't look back at nobody else and just run with the horses, right?
Right.
And at that point, you gotta realize, say to yourself, you know what? Sometimes I gotta help myself first, because I'm the type of person that's not gonna run with the horses. I'm the type of person I'm gonna actually reach where I get to, and look back, and give that hand and pull somebody else up. So, you know, it's between the two. I find the happiness in it, especially if you're somebody I rock with. I know you've been putting in a lot of hard work and doing what you do, and it's something that you love, and you see something from it, like you achieve something from it. Man, I'm happy for you, man.
I when my peoples got married, it's like pre-COVID, and I was talking to this young woman, and she hit me and stuff, whatever. She was saying, because I was in the wedding, and she's like, "Oh, are you gonna be okay to go to the wedding?" So I'm like, "Yeah." Why? What happened? She's like, "No, well, because you've came from a failed marriage, and most people, they become anti-marriage because their marriage didn't work." So
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, look here, there's something you got to know about me. My boy getting to the promised land or to that championship status and stuff, whatever, for that championship ring.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. He wins, we win.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's stuff, whatever. If it wasn't for me or it didn't work out for me, whatever, it damn sure will work for somebody, because he at least has my experiences to kind of help him and help mold him to be an even greater husband than I was.
Of course.
So I look at it as like a win for the team.
Yeah.
And that's just how I look at some things, whatever. So that, When I do like my soup kitchens, like, you know, help feed the homeless and less fortunate and stuff like that gives me pleasure. I feel like when you can help, when you can give help,
dude.
It gives me a different type of pleasure and stuff, whatever. Sex does too, but I want to say there's more of a physical thing with sex, but that's more of a spiritual kind of thing.
Like it's just like I said, man. Like yesterday when wifey was saying, you know, the whole lost in Toronto was like, she was like, for her to say that, you know, it's one thing. It's one thing to affect a business, right? But then it's another to know that it's recognized that you've affected that business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And then that business is now winning because of what you did. And that person is ecstatic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy that she's happy because, yo, this is your thing, that what you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. All I did was just expose light to it. Right. You know what I mean? So the fact that there's so much things coming from me just exposing light to it, yo, I feel that. When you turn around and say, yo, this is what you did for me, I feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it took nothing for me to do that.
That's dope. All right, man. Let's get to some Ask the Sons and slide out. Cowboy-Ray says, do you think we'll see another lockdown soon? I don't think they're shutting shit down no more.
You don't think so?
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies,
he dies.
You think we're at that stage?
I think we're at that stage and stuff, whatever, because, like, look at the Florida cases rising.
Oh, yeah.
The Florida cases and stuff, whatever, like, they can't keep up. They barely can keep up now, whatever, right?
So you don't think they're going to try to shut Florida down again? They're just going to let it ride?
I think they're just going to let it grind down and stuff, whatever, because they're going to look at it stuff as that, like, if they try to shut that down, and some people and stuff will probably be like, wait, I'm not from the state of Florida. They probably might slide to Georgia, and then they might be the affected people and stuff, and that might be like a cascade effect, whatever, too, because if they say, like, all right, effective, you know, the news might come out, or like the government might say, effective July the 7th, 2020, we're shutting down the state of Florida. People like, well, fuck this shutdown shit. I've been through this already. Nying, auntie! And go stay somewhere else.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I thought of that, you know, exactly what you're talking about, that once they open up, regardless of what happens, that's it. They're not planning on
he dies, baby.
On closing back. It's whatever's clever. What happens after that happens after that. I mean, and if you think about it, after opening up, right? Yeah, there's gonna be so much, or there might be rises in cases. But you've given all those people who've been locked up in their homes that chance of freedom. And they've been out there once or two or three, you know what I mean, 4 times, and nothing's happening to them. So now they feel invincible, right?
Right.
See, even if you tell them, hey, we're going to block back up a second time, they're going to be like, no, motherfucker, I've been out here already living life. Ain't nothing happening to me. Go ahead, lock up. I ain't going in.
But the reason why part of the thing, because like, I think the government and stuff would have realized how devastating it's been to the economy.
Yes.
Governments across the world.
Yes.
So I don't feel like they think like, yo, lockdown is going to be necessary. It's kind of like, yo, rock this face mask, conduct yourself with social distance. If he dies, he dies.
He dies.
Nappy Nikki says, does society encourage being stupid while you're young? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Nikki, where are you nappy?
Hopefully she got dreads.
She got it.
Nikki, if you got a hairy bush, I'm with it. You just got to level it off. Like, you know, I don't like to feel like I'm with a woman in the pedophile case.
Yeah, all right.
So, you know, just high top faded off, but I can't have it like just dreading like strands, you know. What do they call shit? Dead ends?
Dead ends?
Yeah, I can't have dead ends off the cooch.
You know they have a name for that, right?
Dead end pussy?
No. The nappy dugout.
Secret garden!
I don't know where you was going with your secret garden bullshit.
It's a bush, man. That secret garden.
Bush in the bush?
Mm-hmm. See?
Yeah.
Does society encourage being stupid while you're young? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because they all, like, I think us as a society, we shun the stupid moves that kids do, or we kind of push them to the side, just like, they're kids, they do dumb shit, compared to, like, You're 18.
Right.
You need to be held accountable because now you're a legal adult in most countries.
Right.
Some countries 16, but in this side of the world, 18, you're a legal adult. So if you do some dumb ass shit and stuff, whatever, don't expect that people are like, and then when they get older, when I was 18, I did dumb shit, whatever. It's okay. And everybody's like, yeah, when you were young.
Yeah.
So I think the society encourages dumb shit.
Oh, yeah. Wiz Khalifa's song.
Young,
Wild, and Free.
Yeah. Young, Wild, and Free. Facts. Last one comes from Brady 12, Gronk 87. Is Brady number still 12?
I'm about to say, that person watching football this season.
Yeah, they definitely watching.
They watching football.
They're Patriots fans to have a name like this. He said, I'm a night person. I was wondering if there's an early bird gets the worm saying for night people.
Stay up late might experience something great.
Did you just make that shit up?
Yeah.
I can run with that. I was going to, the only thing, I don't know, like late. The only thing I can think of late was, what is that? That shit, the mice? I think the second mouse gets the cheese.
The second mouse gets the cheese.
Because the first mouse gets caught in the rat trap.
He
gets caught in the mouse trap and stuff, whatever. So second mouse is able to get the cheese and stuff with ease. So you don't always have to be early because the early person might get fucked. So you could be, it's okay to be late and stuff, whatever, sometimes, whatever, but that stay up late with, say it again? It was free bars? You forgot it?
It's a free bar, man.
Run the tape!
Stay up late, experience something great.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna have to run with that. Because I had an OG tell me one day and stuff a long time ago, whatever. I was yawning one day at work or somewhere. And he's like, you can't soar with the eagles if you're staying up late with the owls, with the night owls. So I was like, that was fire. So I was like, that's right, early bird gets the worm, but no, stay up late.
No, yeah, witness something great. That's why little kids, they ain't never trying to fall asleep early because they feel like they fall asleep, they gonna miss something.
You're gonna miss something. To this day.
Yeah. They always, sleep, they be
Man, I see my son rubbing his eyes like 5-6 times
like
last
he gonna
night.
miss something if he fall asleep.
I'm like, yo, go to bed, dog. I'm tired for us. I'm like, you still not trying to shut it down? I was like, yeah. Then when he finally fell asleep, I'm like, good. We both went to sleep. Let's get to the Associated Sons and slide the hell up out of here. Associated Sons this week. Search your most inner thoughts to find your outer limits. Associated Sons. Embellish on that a little bit.
Well, I don't think you truly know what you're capable or how far you can really go until you truly know yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know
A lot of people don't take the time to figure themselves out.
No, they rather put bullshit and other things that don't really matter in place. Somebody asked me a long time ago, they're like, aren't you bored? I'm like, the time I'm gonna quote unquote be bored, that's the time I can use to fix myself. To make myself go from good to great.
Good to great.
And then the person it was a woman, she kind of kissed her teeth and stuff and kind of looked at some things. And then she kind of came back to me, I think like maybe months later, right? That's part of the reason why you're not bothered by certain type of things. I'm like, yeah, I use that time to soul search. I'm like, why was I upset for little shit when there's a greater cause and a greater purpose?
Well, I mean, even yesterday when we were beating it up and so forth like that, and we was talking about, certain numbers and certain milestones that we hit, and then we were excited, and then as soon as we got to that level of excitement, we was on we already started thinking about where we're going from here.
Yeah,
what we're gonna do from this point on, right? So you're right. There's always things that you can do to improve yourself and improve your situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
For you to say that you're bored, you're not using your faculties, and you're lacking the motivation. And like that's what I would chalk it up to, because there's so much things that you could possibly do to not be bored. So much beneficial things that you could do for yourself to not be bored.
Facts. Yeah, man.
I like this, man. This is a good one. It's a good session.
We got a lot. We package a lot. Okay, folks. Once again, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all salute. Be safe out there. And to all my single people out there, how you holding up? Because I'm holding it strong for us. So you better hold it strong for the other single folks. That
Remember, Bumble, Tinder. Because that might be really low.
Yeah, fuck that. Cut the check. Peace.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.